Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ranger Rob, and welcome to the Ranger Rob Country Living channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Idaho pasture pigs, and I'm going to be frank, and I'm probably going to be realistic, and talk about the plans with our IPP pigs, what we've learned about IPP pigs, making money with IPP pigs, things like that. And so I know you guys see our pigs all the time, but you got to ask yourself, why would you do Idaho pasture pigs? Why would you do pigs at all? I'd have to say right off the bat, it's not for the money, because let's get realistic about numbers. So when you have a registered Idaho pasture pig, they're $400 a piece. There's $800 right there. And they had to come from different regions, because I can't have a boar, which is our Sparky here, which is beautiful. He's getting to be really pretty. Cannot be related to our females. So they've come from different locations. So yeah, so there's cost involved in that. Of course, the mama over here has had piglets. She cost me $400. Now Mr. Cow, you guys saw earlier before we had them butchered, when they're not registered, they're $150 a piece. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you numbers. So now Zelda has had 8 piglets. We lost one, and it's not over yet. We could still lose a piglet or two. Who knows? Let's hope not. So 4 of my piglets have been 4 of my males have been castrated. Remember, I'm talking about here. So when I sell them as feeders, they can't be a breeder. I'll get $150 a piece for those. So what is that? An income of what? $500? And then the females. If I have a female that I think has all the great qualities of a registered Idaho pasture pig, I may sell 1 or 2 as a registered Idaho pasture pig. That means I can get $400 a piece for them. If not, and they buy them as feeders, which is no problem, then they're only $150 a piece. Okay? So it's easy to go. I have $1,200 in registered pigs right now, $150 on a feeder pig that I processed, plus what I paid to have it processed, plus all the equipment, all these fences. A set of 2 fences and a charger is about $500 a piece. I've done that 3 times now. There's another $1,500. Will these piglets make me any money? You already know the answer to that. Hell no. Not just no, but hell no. So what's the drive? Well, for us, the Idaho pasture pigs, let me turn this way so you can kind of see. She's sunning herself right now, and some of my piglets are in the shade in the feral house. Anyway, not to mention I had to pay for building a feral house. So far 2 houses, the little white ones that you have there. So there is no way that these piglets will even come close to our investment. And that's, you know, if you're talking about business, you gotta calculate this stuff. This doesn't even talk about the feed. I'm probably going through 20 pounds of feed a day. Let's see, a bag of high protein hog 19 is about 14, let's say $15, right? So it's a 40-pound bag. So I'm going through $7.50 a day just feeding them. I guess that'd be about right. I'm talking about the morning and evening feed. Our feed is up a little bit because she's a recovering mom, and I've got to feed these piglets, and they're starting to eat solid food. I do have some grassland, and that's why getting them on grass will be important. It will definitely reduce my feed cost. But I probably have to have 4 or 5 more ferals or feraling processes to possibly get closer to breaking even. So why are we doing this? I guess we'll go back to that. Well, I picked the Idaho Pasture Pigs because they're unique. They're a fantastic pig. They're a great homesteading pig. They're very friendly, and you still gotta be cautious around them. They can get pushy, things like that, but you know, if you're a homestead with family and kids in your family, I would trust them around an Idaho Pasture Pig a lot more than some of these other pigs. The quality of meat's fantastic. You can train them electrically, and you can actually put them to work in permaculture. You can do other pigs too. But I know where my pork's coming from now, and I've got really good pork. I can tell you, the pork chops have been really good. The bacon was over the top. Sausage seems great. So that's all we've had so far. And yeah. So why are we doing this? Well, I'd have to say right now it's a hobby farm. It's not a profitable business. And now, like you met the people who helped us with doing our male pigs the other day. I think they said they have over 20 some odd pigs. And I imagine they've streamlined it, and they've also been doing it for quite a few years. So they've already got their fencing and infrastructure in. So they may be getting to the point where they're actually making some money. So the first question is, in a small scale, is it financially, as far as making money, viable for, you know, extra income? I'd have to say, in my case, no. However, there's other things that kind of go along with this. This is helping me develop this land. 2 is I have a YouTube channel, and YouTube channels make money too. So because we have content and things to talk about with Idaho Pasture Pigs, that gives us some stuff for our channel, which creates income. And we get podcasting, and we also sell the RangerRob poopy bags. In a combination with all of that, I can still tell you, if I'm breaking even, I'd still be lucky, but that could change over time. It depends of how far we want to go, where I want to have maybe 4 or 5 paddocks and constantly have feraling going on. And do I even want to deal with that? I don't know what they're fighting about back there. They're a love-hate relationship back there. But moving on here, I wanted to talk about the stresses of having your pigs, and not to mention that my camera cut me off earlier. It might have something to do with running it over with a tractor yesterday. But anyway, the stresses of having pigs is you get kind of connected to these pigs, and so you worry about the different seasons. We just went through a really hot spell, so we're out here making sure they're cool, because pigs are kind of unique. They don't sweat, and their metabolism is a lot like a human, so we also got to be careful what we feed them. I made a mistake of feeding raw potatoes to them when I first got them, and they were sicker than a dog for 2 days. What a mistake. And the other thing is, I told you we have to pay for feed, and we have to pay for minerals, and Idaho Pasture Pigs like grass. We live in high desert, so we don't necessarily always have a lot of grass. So we do have some, Hey Maggie, got a dirty face. Yeah, so the infrastructure, we had to pay for, you know, build these houses for them. They're farrowing houses. We had to pay for their fencing. I may have mentioned earlier, for a set of 2 fences, which is 200 feet, and Premier fencing and a charger, you're looking at $500 a piece. We've done that 3 times already. So yeah, it's something to consider as a viable business. Unless you look at the fact that this is the first investment year, there's no way that this could be good for making money until we either step it up more, or, well, for us it's like, this is our first piglets. Let's see how this goes, see how it is, you know, to sell them, to is it going to be a problem? Do I have regular customers or not? Is it worth the effort? Don't know those questions yet, those answers. But when it comes to permaculture and helping me develop these fields out here, that's huge. They've done some amazing things with our new garden up front and also back here. Summertime, any of the grass that I did gain has died off, but in the fall we'll be at it again and doing fall and winter planting as far as cover crops and stuff. So, and eventually I think we're going to water this area a little more so we have more grassland for the pigs, which will help decrease the price in feed. Now, for the enjoyment of having pigs, it's been fantastic. Piglets are adorable. Getting the right mindset of knowing that you're raising pigs, you can't have them as pets. They're not practical as pets. Some people do that, but they either got to be a breeder or they're going to be a feeder. That's all there is to it. And one will probably be a companion pig for Sparky when he has to be alone. But hey, you're being too cute. Way too cute, peoples. Anyway, apparently mom's also an obstacle to climb over. But yeah, it's been fun, fulfilling. But as a business, this is a hobby farm so far. And we'd have to really step it up here to make this profitable. And you gotta ask yourself, are you willing to look at the labor that you have to put? I have to feed these guys twice a day. Every morning I have to come out here, every night. And if I can't make it out here, someone has to be here. So then I may have to find a home sitter. That costs money. Your labor, your time is worth money too. So you need to keep that in mind. That you got the labor, you got the responsibility, you got the feed, you got the minerals, you got medical stuff that you need to have for castration and things like that. Giving them deworming and things like that. So I can't tell you for sure if it's for now I can tell you it's not a viable business unless I change the processes. And of course in this video I want to urge you in the comments to ask questions like, or say, Rob, why aren't you doing this? Or why aren't you doing that? But I'm trying to point out to you the cost involved, the time involved, and understand that you got to know your limitations, and you got to also know what your obligations are and be accountable for it. And having pigs, oh, that scared me. He hit the fence. We keep this fence live because we're trying to make sure that these pigs are trained for electric fences, so when their new owners set up their paddocks, that they're trained for electric. And so yeah, so you learn a lot. The learning curve this year has been amazing. Have I regretted it at all? Not at all, not really, until like maybe we want to go somewhere. The pigs, once again, I refuse to feed these pigs all they can eat, because they will eat all they can eat. And I want healthy pigs, and yes, I want them big, but I want them healthy. So I'm not going to overfeed these pigs, so it's important I feed them 2 times a day, regulate their food, bring up their nutrients when I need to, and when mom is pregnant or she's recovering from having piglets, I step up the protein a little bit and make sure she recovers well. So yeah, more stress, more concern, more responsibility. Are you willing to do that? Idaho Pasture Pigs, once again, if you're a homesteader, I highly recommend Idaho Pasture Pigs. They're much more friendly. I trust them around your children more. However, what I do want to mention is mamas are mamas. If you mess with their babies, some mamas are going to get a little bit aggressive or really aggressive. And boars can be very pushy, especially if they're chasing girls and stuff. So they're pigs, they're animals, they're not pets. And oh, it's feeding time. For example, I need to trim one of her toenails. Right now, I can't lay her on her side. I have to also know the limitations of what I can do with her. I can't clip her toenails because the piglets will come a-running. And 2, I've got to be in a scenario that if she gets ticked off and she can turn on me really quick and push me around just because she doesn't like to have her toenails clipped. So yeah, you got to realize these are not pets. These are pigs. And luckily, they're a lot more tolerable to people than, say, other types of pigs. So they're a fantastic pig. They weigh up to 250, 300 pounds when you want to butcher them. And of course, being Idaho Pasture Pigs, you got the fact that they're a unique pig. And if they meet all the if you go to Idaho Pasture Pig Association page, they'll tell you what to look for in your pigs. And the other thing I didn't really mention too much is they don't root as bad as other pigs. If you look at other videos and see people have other kinds of pigs, they'll have really long noses and stuff. Those pigs are designed to dig, and that's what pigs do. These guys root too, but lightly, not as deep. They will root. When they're young, their first half year, they really want to root a lot. If they're rooting a lot still, they're also looking for minerals, and that's what introduced me to bringing in Next Gen. It's actually called Next Gen. You can get it on Amazon. It's kind of expensive. But a lot of times they're looking for minerals that they're not getting, and they'll try to do it through rooting. So, yeah, learned a lot. Would I do it again? Yes, this has been my wife has fallen in love with these pigs, and she was actually more opposed to us getting pigs. But what are we getting out of it? Quality meat, the enjoyment of being home and enjoying being at the homestead because we enjoy these animals. But it also means responsibility and accountability and cost. And it's like mom says, kitchen's closed, that's it. Just need to realize that. And we're in high desert, so we don't have the grass. These are pasture pigs. They will eat grass, and that can reduce your cost. Hi, Mama. You are one dirty piggy. Look at you. You are just covered. It's getting kind of closer to the dinner time, but right now she put on her makeup. She's looking good. What a pretty little girl. Maggie is one big mom pig. And by the way, if you don't know the names, if they haven't had pigs before, they're called gilts. If they've had, so she's a gilt. He's a boar because he hasn't been fixed. The ones that have been fixed are burrows, I believe you call them. Hi, Sparky. How's it going? I hear you. Eating some grass, huh? I guess eating grass is better than smoking grass. And then when they've had piglets already, she's a sow. I just learned that. I know I sound like an expert, don't I? I just watch YouTube videos. Anyway, you learn as you go. These guys go through a lot of water. So always fill in their water. There's other ways to do water, but I kind of like this way right now. A lot of people will do the nipple thing in the barrel, but here it gets so warm that we have algae problems a lot. So plus when we overfill their bowls, it just spills into their wallows, and so we're always constantly changing the water in the wallows because we'll get algae problems on that. And it is good to have a dog that will like Belle to help us keep them under control, because when they're freelancing in the property or they get loose, we've actually had Belle didn't know she had the ability to actually herd them for us a little bit. She's not perfect at it, but one nice thing about having a German Shepherd. So anyway, this has been kind of my chance to tell you why we have Idaho Pasture Pigs. Two is it a good business? It could be, but you really have to make some obligations to do it. Is it profitable for us now? Absolutely not. You've already heard my numbers. I'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 registered females sold here, which I can get $400 for, but most likely most of my pigs here I'll get $150 for. One of the boys I want to keep as a companion pig. We call him Fireball. He's one of the smaller males, but we like him, and he could grow up to still be a really good sized pig. But eventually Sparky's going to be on his own, because I'm going to try to avoid having piglets in the winter time. And yeah, and so having space for them, since we move our pigs around a lot, we don't really have problems with smell or anything like that. When we can start smelling the pigs a little bit, we move them to another paddock. And then when we're done with a paddock, because we're doing permaculture, and they're great for permaculture, then we start, this is in the early stages, we'll take a tractor in, start burying and mixing their droppings into the dirt. Then eventually we smooth it out. We run cover crop, but my cover crop is died because my cover crop is more of a fall winter crop. And then down there is a place where we cleared out and had the pigs down there, but we haven't planted it, and I've been waiting till the fall to do that. But anyway, they are starting to make this ground come alive with their droppings and with them digging and etc. That's been a real positive thing for us. So having the pigs for permaculture has been fantastic. For meat, fantastic. For business, well, not so good so far. Profit? No. No profit. Can it be? Well, if I streamline things a little bit, probably change some of my processes to make them more repeatable, things like that, yes, it could be a profitable business. Now the profit still wouldn't be that much. So let's say I make a $500 to $1,000 off of piglets. What do you do with that? That's not very much money. You know, like a good income when you get a job, $5,000 a month is good income. $500 to $1,000 in profit on piglets, it's not very much. You'd have to be turning a lot of pigs. So you want to keep that in mind. But if you have other things, like we have the YouTube channel and we have podcast stuff and our RangerRob poopy bags, we have a combination. Hey, I'll never say no to $500 or $1,000 extra, and that's not even per month. That's just a one-time shot. So I hope A lot of things I just brought up here is good information for you and gives you food for thought. In the comments below, once again, please ask questions, make suggestions, ask us things that we haven't talked about it before. And you know, it's all about the Idaho Pasture Pig, and another name for them is IPPs, and we highly recommend them. We're very happy with them. They could be a viable business, but it also depends on how far down the rabbit hole you really want to go. So please take the time to like and share and subscribe to our channel. We'd appreciate it. Love to hear your comments. I hope you found this helpful. And yeah, and last piece of wisdom, don't run over your camera with a tractor. Because I had to do this last part over again. So anyway, guys, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Our videos are made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available at Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.